My name is State Representative Rick Jones. I'm a representative from Eaton County, from Grand Ledge, and I'd like to introduce Chris Veneklase, who located the 17 babies at the garbage dumpster by the clinic.
My name is Chris Veneklase. I am here as a concerned citizen, not representing any group, just as an individual. For the past 2 years, I have noticed staff members of Women's Choice in Lansing regularly taking out trash at the end of an abortion day. They have been dumping it into the trash container just down the service drive of the neighboring business area about 2 blocks away. This is a common business dumpster. On February 26, 2010, I decided to retrieve one of the bags from the dumpster that they had thrown out. When I examined the bag's contents, I made a grisly discovery. The bag contained the human remains of 17 children. These aborted children have been placed in clear storage bags. The dates of their deaths and the names of their mothers were clearly written on each bag. These human remains have been placed into a larger Ziploc bag with January 2010 written on the outside, and then discarded in a red biohazard bag inside a black trash bag filled with other bloody waste before being dumped into the common trash bin. Our founding fathers envisioned a society that would protect the inalienable rights of every human being, the first of which is the right to life. Instead, we live in a time and place where children are torn to tiny pieces within their mother's wombs and then thrown out with the trash for the mice and rats to feed on. I ask each one of you here from the press and the media to take a fresh look. A sincere look at the photographs that will be provided to you today. And I implore you to reflect earnestly on how each one of us is called to act to return our society and our government to one which cares for children, supports motherhood, and protects the inalienable right to life.
I'm Monica Million Miller. I'm the Director of Citizens for a Pro-Life Society. The first item that I want to share with you this morning is the actual sacks that the unborn children were placed in. You see, of course, that we have redacted all of the women's names off of the bags for media purposes, but these names are clearly visible to the human eye, completely legible in every way, both first and last names of the women who had abortions at the Women's Choice Abortion Clinic in Lansing. All of these unborn children were retrieved February 26, 2010. You notice these sackings through the plastic. The unborn child is actually within the sacking itself, and then to see the actual body parts, you have to open up the sacking, and then you can see the actual victim of abortion. What are called these world packs. This is a common medical specimen bag that you saw in that first photograph. This is what the medical profession often uses those bags for the purposes of placing medical specimens. You can see very clearly, for example, the veins have already developed very clearly. To us, of course, when we look at these photos, we see victims of injustice. I don't know exactly what the abortionist sees when he looks at these pictures, but that, to me, is very clear that we're looking at the remains of human beings that were, in fact, dumped in a trash dumpster. These are the actual suction cannulas that are used. These were in the trash dumpster, and I think it's important to realize that this trash dumpster is not a private trash dumpster that is used by the abortion clinic. Not that that actually makes it any better, but this was a common dumpster that services the entire business park. This is a patient record sheet. Again, obviously names redacted out. Possible gestational week of her unborn child. RU means RU 486, so that means that that woman was probably getting the abortion drug. VI means voluntary interruption of pregnancy. It's very personal information with the woman's name, discarded in the trash in that dumpster here in Lansing, Michigan. The actual Victims of abortion, we can see very clearly, this is the hand of a human being tossed in the trash. And unfortunately, under current Michigan regulations, it's not illegal to do that. And that's why we have today legislation that Representative Rick Jones is going to talk to you about to at least correct this problem.
What does our legislation do? Our legislation provides that a baby, an aborted baby, and the products of that must be either cremated or buried. Certainly, a medical cremation is not only the human thing to do, but it's the proper thing to do to ensure that there is no possibility of any disease spread, any illness caused by this careless, hazardous disposal of these little babies. By the way, this has happened before. It happened in Detroit, the Hardari case. I have met with Assistant Attorney General Carol Isaacs, and I have been told it's doubtful whether or not criminal action can be taken. There probably will be some civil action that can be taken, perhaps some fines. I certainly hope so. But the problem is the babies, apparently, were dipped into formaldehyde. And I'm told that probably under Michigan law, that makes it legal to just simply throw them in a dumpster. And further, looking further into Michigan law, even more horrifying to me, is it's actually legal to take a baby, a product of an abortion, and put them into a garbage disposal and grind them up and dispose of them that way. It's sickening. And I have been advised by the Assistant Attorney General that they do also believe, the Attorney General believes, we need a change in Michigan law to ensure this practice stops. The person doing this would be subject to a felony and up to 3 years in prison, $5,000 fine, or both. That way we can ensure that this doesn't happen again.
Abortion heals no one.
The human eye is looking at something you're not meant to see.